Hey guys, RAF had a press conference yesterday, and we're just going to be reacting to the part of Colby Covington and Luke Rockhold when they were going at each other, but at the same time, they were giving a lot of respect to each other. They were definitely they were putting light on how many accolades that these guys collectively had. So, like we know, Colby had a great wrestling legacy. He was a great freestyle wrestler. Luke Rockhold, on the other hand, had great success in MMA. He was a Strikeforce champion, UFC champion. So they're trying to respect each other, but at the same time, they're kind of taking shots with like funny lines. But at the same time, at the end, it's going to be BO Nickal against both of those guys. Like BO Nickal was actually watching the press conference while he was present there, and then Colby Covington and Luke Rockhold, they both started taking shots at BO Nickal, and that was like a funny part. So I'm gonna react to the whole press conference. I'm just gonna stop playing it. Whoa.
He knows Kobe from college, and
Kobe, you're looking a little small, so I just wanted to get you the protein so you can beef up a little bit, keep up, you know. Hey.
Is this what the Dagestanians gave you in the hot tub in San Jose? Is that what they gave you? Let me see what this is.
Yeah, it's like Luke Rockhold is just giving some sort of proteins to Kobe Covington. It's like, I want to beef you up a little bit because there's like a weight discrepancy between those guys. Kobe, his whole career is fighting 170. Luke Rockhold was fighting 185. At some point, he also fought at 205. So yeah, it's kind of a joke. Like, I need you to beef up a little bit. And Kobe's like, oh, is that what the Dagestanis gave you? Because Luke Rockhold's background. He was training with the Dagestanis, Khabib, and all of those guys.
It's my protein candy.
Okay, nice, bro.
I got some.
look, real quick, Hulk Hogan walked you out a year ago. How does it feel to be here in the RAF? You know, I got the call from Noah Schwartz a year ago saying, can Hulk walk you out in Tampa? And he did, and now you're here. So tell us what that meant to you.
Yeah, man, that meant everything, man. That was one of the greatest moments in my UFC career. Just having Hulk Hogan backstage, praying for me before the fight, and just giving me so many positive words of encouragement. That's a day that will live in my head for the rest of my life. So super grateful to Hulk Hogan. He's the first person that really inspired me to be a great wrestler. Hulkamania was, the greatest movement of all time in any sport. So it inspired me in my wrestling career, my UFC career, and he's meant so much to me in my journey to being a martial artist.
I mean, Kobe's always given his flowers to Hulk Hogan. Kobe was a guy who was inspired by Hulk Hogan because we know even in his UFC career, he's been able to showcase how much he's been inspired by wrestling and the promos that he was cutting, and the character that he was playing, how much he was inspired by like Kurt Angle, his ring entrances of like Kurt Angle, you suck. And then Hulk Hogan actually walked him to his last fight. So that he was at the walkout, and that's what Kobe is giving his flowers to Hulkamania.
Colby, back here. All the way back. Welcome back, man. It's good to see you getting ready for a combat event again. When you found out Luke Rockhold was going to be your opponent, what was your reaction to that? Because that wasn't on my bingo card, and I don't know if that was ever on yours.
I was excited. He's a big name. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's a former UFC champion. He used to wrestle with Cain Velasquez, Daniel Cormier, Khabib Nurmagomedov. So he's a great, talented guy. He's a strong guy. He's a bigger guy. He may be bigger. Yeah, he may be stronger.
Some things about Kobe characters kind of changed. Like Kobe at one point did not used to give any sort of respect to his opponents. He would always try to devalue his opponents, like he did with Kamaru Usman. He was calling him Marty Snoozman the whole time, and he'd be like, "Oh, you're like a snooze fest." Also, like you're taking EPO. But with Luke Rockhold, he's trying to uphold him. It's like he's trained with one of the best guys, trained with Islam Makhachev, Khabib Nurmagomedov, Danny Cormier, Cain Velasquez, and he's a great champion. So.
But he definitely turned, some pop stars in Hollywood into some lesbians.
That was a funny line.
Power top.
He's turned some pop stars into Hollywood into lesbians.
Not the central bottom type.
I mean, this joke is gonna hit more because everybody knows Luke Rockhold is like one of the best looking guys, but Colby just got him with that one.
Kobe, you're going to find out.
I'm not really sure, Luke, how I'm even possibly going to be able to follow that up, but I'll try. I will do my best. What was your reaction when you found out that Colby Covington was going to be your opponent for this event?
I was, this thing popped off on me from the blue, and I was like, it sounds fun, but I want to get the right opponent. I'm not, be realistic.
Oh fuck.
So, Kobe, a little bit of size advantage. I can, and then stylistically, it's all about styles. I was always a funky wrestler growing up, and I think Kobe's someone I can get behind and get my boots in and sink it deep.
Chad and Izzy, is this the weirdest press conference you've been a part of?
See, these guys are just taking funny shots at each other. Put my boots on and sink in from behind. I mean, they're funny. But like one thing Luke said is like he was always like a funky wrestler, and we've seen that in Real Rock Clothes. Like wrestling side, it was never like a blast double like or like a strong single. Like he was never the explosive wrestler. And the same with Colby Covington. He was always like a pace, pressure, but he was never the kind of guy who would use his strength a lot, or like who would be fast, really fast to get like an explosive double leg or a single leg. He was more like a funky wrestler. So I think funky wrestler, that kind of style suits Luke Rockhold a lot. And we saw him when he was training against the Dagestani. Some of the guys were like heavy double leg guys. Like Khabib Nurmagomedov was taking Luke Rockhold down, even though he was smaller than him. So Luke Rockhold was struggling against him, but I think against a guy like Colby Covington, who's not gonna have that sort of like strength on Luke Rockhold, who's not going to be that explosive, that fast guy, but more like a funky style wrestler, I think it might be something that Luke Rockhold actually wants. And that's going to be the match that people might actually like. But do I still agree with it being the main event? I'm not sure. I mean, I think BO Nickal and Romero had done more in the wrestling world, so that should have probably been the main event. But, you know, looking at the press conference, these guys know how to sell, to be honest. I think that's one of the reasons they put it as a main event, because with Romero and BO Nickal, Romero doesn't speak English. He's funny. He can actually create a press conference in his language. If he could speak English, man, that guy would have been a monster. BO Nickal doesn't really talk shit to that level, and he doesn't have the star power yet. So I think that's one of the reasons they put it as a co-main event.
You know, we knew that putting this card together, there was a lot of characters, and we're just excited, you know, just excited for the fans to laugh, excited for people to be excited for competition, and I'll say it over and over. We're showcasing the greatest sport in the world, and I'm very honored to have, like Chad said, you know, I grew up wrestling with Kobe. We've been friends since we were young, you know, and then I've known Luke for a long time with the rivalry with John Jones and Daniel Cormier, and we've always been buddies. So to put this match together is we knew it was going to get a little.
And both of them didn't even flinch when we asked them to go up against each other. So we
Trying to catch up to Uncle Chael. I feel like every event I do, he's on the board. I gotta keep catching up. His glasses might be a little thicker than mine, but I'm coming for you, Chael.
He's talking about Chael because Chael is like 50-something years old. He still wants to compete. We saw him against Craig Jones in like a grappling event. So Kobe's like, I want to catch up to him, right? And we don't even know. Chael might be competing in the next event or something.
Next.
Chael's been asking. He's been wanting to get on the mats, you know. So we'll see.
Colby, what are the chances you give Luke to sink it deep and be able to score some points against you here on the wrestling mats?
You know, I see Chael Sonnen, I see Kurt Angle, but if it wasn't for me and Luke being here, you know, there wouldn't be any stars in the building unless, you know, these guys got hit upside the head.
And Luke, question for you. For all the guys that you've wrestled, where do you put Colby's skill set on the wrestling match?
Wait, did he mention Kurt Angle as well? So I didn't know. So Kurt Angle is also in the press conference actually watching? I mean, that's great, honestly. Kurt Angle over there, they could create some sort of drama actually during the event.
Just from what you've seen on film.
I mean, I've been fighting wrestlers, so Kobe, straight up wrestling, he's a tough guy. You know, I mean, I don't think he's particularly fast as a lot of the guys I've been to, and he's just tough, and he's gonna be a hard nose, a lot of hand fight, a lot of grind, and I think it's a good matchup for me. I can get off and get some throws and get to where I want to be in position. I think freestyle's a lot nastier than collegiate style, and I think a lot of the reasons why I didn't wrestle in college is because a lot of the matches I missed were like potentially dangerous calls, and a lot of, I was a funky wrestler, so I just ended up hanging it up just because.
Okay, by the way, I don't personally know the difference between like freestyle and collegiate wrestling. I thought they were exactly the same. I think collegiate wrestling was the same as like the freestyle Olympic wrestling, but apparently there's a difference. And Luke Rockhold actually believes that he didn't do the collegiate wrestling, that didn't suit him very well because there were faults that he could have committed, so he was playing a little bit safe. Freestyle he could have done much better. We'll find out against Colby Covington, who's done a lot of freestyle wrestling. Also, he said Colby is going to be nasty. He's going to be tough. He's going to be hard to finish. Colby is a hard nose, to be honest. He might not be the most explosive, but the guy was his pressure style, his cardio. I don't know if he's training the same as he's used to do, but every fight that you put him in, like even the last fight where he had a terrible performance against Joaquin Buckley, he was coming back in the third round. You could see like he was busted up, and they had to stop the fight because of the cut. But Colby, he's got no quit in him. He wants to go all 5 rounds. He keeps putting the pressure on. There was a point when he was like, he's the guy with the second most takedowns in the welterweight history. So I mean, Colby's a hard guy to finish, to be honest.
Because I didn't get rewarded right, and I think freestyle suits me a lot better. I can get on the neck real tight, and I can rip them apart.
All right, this question's for both of you guys. You guys both obviously fought in the UFC. If you guys could rematch someone you guys fought in the UFC in an RAF event, who would you guys want to face?
I'm just here to save wrestling, you know, like you got some boring entitled bozos in this building that think they should be in the headliner. My name's in history in Madison Square Garden for being the biggest draw there, you know. I'm not out here giving the Sandusky special.
Is he taking a shot at BO Nickal, by the way? We got some boring headliners who think they should be in the main event.
Didn't you get beat up by a Dutch kickboxer? I forgot. Remember, your cardio.
Okay, so BO Nickal is talking now, and Colby Covington is making a comeback. He's saying he didn't get beat by a Dutch kickboxer, who's RDR basically beat BO Nickal in his second last fight.
You were right. You got beat up by a Dutch kickboxer. That's right. Come on, Bo. Come on, bro. You've never been. Have you ever been a main event? No, you've never been a main event. Come on, bro. Hey, how many times did you shower in Happy Valley at the Penn State with Jerry Sandusky? I gotta know. I really gotta know.
I don't know about showering in the Happy Valley with Darren Sandusky or whoever that guy is. I don't know the story about that, but it's quite funny, whatever that was.
It's entitled bozos like this that just kill the sport of wrestling. We need stars. We need people that are willing to be vocal and call their shots.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be too easy, bro. You're a bum. Come on, dude. You're a Dutch kid. You got broken by a Dutch kickboxer, man. Come on.
I think it's very hard for Bo to actually come back from that because he actually got beat by a Dutch kickboxer and he didn't do wrestling in that match, to be honest. RDR's got great grappling, man. I don't know. People kind of undervalue his grappling sometimes, but it's like, is Bo going to have a comeback on this one? Because you're an NCAA champion. Are you supposed to not grapple against is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu a threat to you? So it's hard to make a comeback from that line.
Come on, dude. No, come on, you're a bum, dude. You're nobody.
What are we
You've
talking?
Never been to a main event. There's a reason. Come on.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about big. We're talking about big money up here, not nobodies. We're talking about Luke Rockhold, first ballot Hall of Famer, not some unproven kid in the corner that's never done anything.
You should make the top 10 before you start talking about a sport that builds another sport. The reason why wrestling here is on the stage is because MMA.
Should make top 10. I mean, that's true. Like, BO Nickal is not in the top 10. It's also true BO Nickal has never been the main event of UFC.
Facts. You've done absolutely nothing in the sport of MMA. You quit.
Absolutely.
You quit before the knee even hit you, Bo. So just
Facts.
Button it up. Button it up.
Look how bad he's getting. He's crying. He's crying over in the corner.
I won. How many world championships have I won? What have you done on a world stage? Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
You're a college bum.
Entitled.
Shut up.
Guys, move on.
Both are just calling him a bum. It's kind of funny because both of them are taking shots at the same time, man. Luke Rockhold is like, what have you done on the world stage? Because we know Luke Rockhold has been Strikeforce champion, he's been UFC champion. Bo hasn't proven anything to that level. I mean, he's been NCAA champion, but he needs to do something in UFC.
All right, who's got the next question? Hey, you modify the rule set, and I will choke you out. Hey, go ahead. No leg locks, chokes. We can modify it. I would love to do a modified rule set.
BO Nickal
Modified rule set. I will put you to sleep. All right, who's got the next question?
I mean, obviously Luke is more confident in his grappling. He's a better Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu artist. Bo only started doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu like a few years ago. So if it's like a grappling match, I think I would favor Luke Rockhold in that match. And he's saying no leg locks because obviously you don't want to take the risk of like the damage with the leg locks. I think Luke Rockhold can potentially put him to sleep. It would be a hard task because I still think Bo is younger and he's a better wrestler, but it's a possibility.
As much as I'd love to see Colby and Bo keep arguing, obviously you guys are both Trump supporters. So I just wanted to ask, like, how much does it mean to you guys to compete just 30 minutes away from where Jeffrey Epstein used to hang out.
Who the fuck is talking right now?
Luke, you dress like
Move on.
I mean, that is a diabolical question. Both of these guys are actually fans of Donald Trump, and they're asking him, like, you guys only live like a few miles away from where Trump used to hang out with Jeffrey Epstein. Fuck.
Question for
All right, who's got the real question for these guys?
Colby. We've seen online that Kamaru Usman and Bilal Muhammad have called you out specifically for this format. Any of those guys interest you for a wrestling match?
Yeah, definitely. Marty Fake Newsman's someone that I'm going to want to fight till the day I'm dead. So, I'd love to wrestle Marty. Bilal, would be a fun one. I'm number 2 all time on the takedown list at welterweight in the UFC right now. There's only one person above me. That's GSP. So I think that fight makes a lot of sense. Maybe Khabib has had some talks he might want to go over. So there's a lot of good matchups that RAF can provide.
Obviously, Kobe is calling out a lot of people. He's calling out the name of George St. Pierre, and he's calling him Marty Fay Newsman again. So Kamaru Usman, Bilal is a good matchup, and he's calling out Khabib as well. So, I mean, these could be good matchups, to be honest, if they make the way. I don't think Khabib is going to fight. I think Khabib can destroy Colby in a freestyle wrestling match, but I don't think he's going to fight.
I'm just super excited to get on the mat tomorrow night.
If you could compete against anybody, would GSP be your preference, like number 1?
Without a doubt. You look at the history list in the UFC takedowns, I'm number 2, he's number 1. So, he's the only person above me. That's who I want.
Thank you.
Luke Rockhold, what has your camp been like for this match, preparing for this match?
Shaking off the cobwebs, trying to get a little good feel, getting with all these young kids. I came out to Kill Cliff about 2 weeks ago and test myself against some of the best guys out there, and just getting the flow back. So I'm in a good spot. I danced around to a lot of different striking competitions, but wrestling was my base. I wrestled from 6th grade through high school. So, and then I continue to wrestle like some of the best guys in the world, Cormier, Khabib, Islam, Kane, and also all these people for so many years. So my skills are there. If I get to my positions, it's going to be a short night.
Nice. And Colby, what did your preparation look like for this match?
My preparation was a lot of bedroom cardio with the South Beach Mamacitas, going to Mar-a-Lago.
I mean, this is not the first time that Colby Covington has been talking about this. I mean, he talks about it all the time, bedroom cardio. He's talking about the preparation and saying bedroom cardio with the Mamacitas.
Going to have a lot of dinners.
Sounds funny every
I got
time.
to wrap this up soon because I got to go have dinner with the president here shortly at Mar-a-Lago.
I gotta have dinner with the president. I gotta wrap this up soon because I gotta have dinner with the president. Also, that thing by Colby Covington, where he's trying to hype himself up, and he tries to make it look like him and Donald Trump are like the closest friends. He got a call from Donald Trump one time after winning the match. The whole call was like live on the UFC event. Yeah.
Lago. And, just thinking about the future and building up RAF into a global organization to compete with all the mainstream sports.
Colby, Alec from Home of Fight here. You're a UFC welterweight. Luke has had fights at light heavyweight in the UFC. How much of a factor do you think the size difference will play in this matchup?
It definitely plays a little bit of a factor. He's a bigger guy, he's stronger, but I'm nastier. And tomorrow night, I'm going to show how nasty I am. I'm going to show why they call me the King of Miami. I'm going to show why I'm America's champ and the reflection of perfection, baby.
And one last one from me.
The reflection of perfection. I mean, that's true. He's putting it right there. 185 pounds, Luke Rockhold, a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, Colby more nastier. So we're going to see what happens.
Dagestani wrestling versus American wrestling. Who's the best in the world?
That's a great conversation. Everybody always wants to know. I think, the Russians have really held a strangle grip on being the best wrestling country in the world for so long, but Americans are closing the gap. We're getting better technology, better training, and, I think the Americans are the best today.
If you had this question to Colby Covington like 5 years ago, he would have straight up given the answer on American wrestling, and he would have talked shit about Dagestani wrestling, would have said Dagestani wrestling sucks. But now he acknowledges, because Dagestani wrestlers have kind of like dominated the American fighting organizations, and there's not much you can say about like Islam or Khabib or like all of those guys. So I mean, he's kind of saying like American wrestling is catching up at the moment. Dagestanis have dominated for a long, long time. So a bit of respect for Dagestanis.
Great. Let's get these face-offs started, guys. Thank you.
All right, so that's it, guys. To the point of like who's going to be winning the match, I'm not really sure about. I'm making a prediction of Colby Covington. I think he's more likely to win just because of more wrestling experience. It's also 3 rounds, so 2 minutes, 3 rounds, not 3 minute 3 rounds. I think Rockhold might do good in the first round and the second round. I think Colby is going to dominate in the third round. I think Rockhold's cardio is going to go down because just wrestling straight out for like 6 minutes can get quite hard. And because Rockhold doesn't have a lot of freestyle experience, Colby is going to shine in that one. He has weight advantage, he's got strength advantage, but he's going to get tired. I feel like it.